Now, ahead of the National Executive Committee Nec meeting of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) slated for tomorrow, loyalists of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike are locked in moves and counter moves to gain control of the party structure. Now, this was as the National Working Committee (NWC) of the party cautioned non-NEC members to stay clear of the meeting venue for tomorrow. National Publicity Secretary of the party Debo Olaguagba said this is an advisory sent out to members yesterday. It was gathered that party caucus, which consists of high-ranking party leaders, will meet today to set the tone for the NEC meeting. However, a high-ranking party leader who spoke in confidence said already discussions are being held around how the party should handle reports of anti-party activities against notable party leaders who sabotaged the party at the 2023 general election. Well, that will be the focus of today's edition of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. Also on the program, we'll actually look at what is happening at the Abano State constituency, where Aaron Uzodike, a member of the PDP, is yet to be sworn in by the House of Assembly. Welcome once again. My name is Ginika Olwaha. Let's take a breather now to bring you the political update. When we come back, you meet my guest. All right, thank you so much, Wisdom, for that update on the political development in the country. Welcome again. This is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. Like I told you, we'll be looking at the National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party scheduled to hold tomorrow in Abuja. And you know that there's been issues here and there on who's supposed to be the party leader of the PDP. Is it FCT Minister or is it the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar? You know, various issues here and there. But we'll get to find out. As a former commissioner here in Abia State and a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Chief John Okikalu joins me virtually this morning. Good morning, Chief. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Good morning, Genika. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. I don't know if you are also part of those that will be attending the meeting tomorrow, but our major concern will be your party, the People's Democratic Party, is supposed to have the NEC meeting tomorrow in Abuja. What should, as a party member, what do you think should be the main agenda of the meeting? Don't forget that there has been issue of those that worked against the party in 2023 general elections, and some people are saying kick out some people and take decisive action against them. And others said, no, if you do that, you are going to make the party to implode. What do you think should be the major focus of NEC meeting for tomorrow, Chief?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that the Constitution of the People's Democratic Party clearly defines who should be a member of NEC. And in the absence of our having the president, you should expect to see some members of the National Working Committee, not all of them, some members, and then the state chairman and secretaries across the country, the 30 states, and of course the governors, and basically that will be it. I am not aware that Governor Wike is a member of NEC. I am also not aware that Atiku Abubakar is a member of NEC. So the notion of who should be leader and who should not be leader does not arise. The leader of PDP is the national chairman of PDP, because we are not the party in power at the center. So the leader is the national chairman.
Okay.
I think the media wants to contrive crisis where none exists. The PDP is a constitutional party. We have a constitution that defines all actions to be taken within the party. I am honestly not aware of any crisis beyond the media hype, the media trying to inject its agenda on the meeting. The meeting has a well-defined agenda and it is that agenda that will be followed. I'm sure you are aware of the recent statement by the public secretary of the party, wherein he stated clearly that those who are not NEC members need not come there. I am not a NEC member, and I do not expect to be there or around that location at that time. And I am not among those seeing crisis. I am among those who see a meeting to discuss way forward, to deliberate on issues that are important to the party. Of course, you know that a court of competent jurisdiction sacked our former national chairman, Eyoricha Ayo, and he was replaced by the deputy national chairman, Damagun. That is the structure in PDP, and that is what is prevailing now. Remember that PDP has organs. The highest decision-making body in PDP is the National Convention. The NEC is the second highest decision-making body. Before that, you will have the National Working Committee. We follow our process. I don't see what a lot of you are seeing in terms of crisis. A lot of meetings are going on, even yesterday. Today there will be meetings. I happened to be involved in one of the meetings yesterday with my boss, Governor Kezi Bazo. And meetings continue today. The PDP Governors Forum will meet today. And of course, there will also be other meetings on the sideline. I am aware that even the G5 will possibly meet today. At the end of the day, only those who are members of NEC will enter the meeting venue. And they are not going to be randomly discussing all and anything that people raise in the media. They are going to follow the agenda that they have. And it is that agenda that will determine the outcome of the meeting. So those who are worried and talking about crisis might not be aware of some of these things. They may have imagined that there is an omnibus meeting where all issues must be settled or the party will go bust. Whatever is the outcome of the NEC meeting tomorrow will not lead to the end of the People's Democratic Party.
Chief.
The notion that there is a struggle between Wike and Atiku is not true, because what happens in a political party, a democratic political party with a caucus, not a one-man party like the Labour Party in Abia State. No. What happens is that we operate in caucus, we operate in organs, people sit down and discuss issues. You don't ram the decision of one man on us. And in doing that, there will be various interests. If there are different people that want to be chairman of PDP, normally you will have somebody supporting Mr. A, you will have somebody supporting Mr. B. It doesn't mean there is crisis. At some point there will be harmonization. The key people to watch their body language tomorrow, let me say this, the key people to watch their body language tomorrow will be the members of the PDP Governors Forum, because as of today, we do not have a president of PDP.
So they will be the major decision taker?
No, not necessarily. See, NEC is constituted by members of the National Working Committee, selected members, and then selected members of the state working committees, like I mentioned, the chairman and secretary, particularly. Now, all these people constituting NEC will contribute to whatever decision that is being made. But you must realize that as the highest elected officials of the party in their various states, the governors will have more than a normal say, because it is also expected that they are the ones that will fund and support the activities of the party. Something that people don't reckon with. At the National Secretariat of PDP, there are people working there. There are all kinds of staff that will have to receive
And
salary.
the governors give them money for payment of salaries and all that.
They contribute to a common purse.
Okay.
And it is that contribution that is used to run the party. There might be other members like former Governor Wike also.
Lawmakers of the House of Representatives led by Ikenga Ogochinyere. He talked about the issue of anti-party activities. There are some people actually sabotage the party, both at the state and the national level during the 2023 general election. I'm sure you are aware. In fact, you've alluded to that fact that yes, some people actually sabotage the party, even here in the state, making your party to lose. What do you think should be done to these kind of people? You know, I mean, is NEC not supposed to be talking about the sanctions that should be placed on these kind of people?
It will depend on what the National Working Committee presents before the NEC. If the National Working Committee presents before the NEC a decision to sanction those people, NEC will either ratify or reject. NEC will not originate it. Do you understand that?
Okay.
And again, in a political party, you look at circumstances, you look at so many things in arriving at a particular decision. A party would want to keep as many members as possible, even though they will also want to maintain discipline within the membership. Recall that in 2014, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar rejected the presidential candidacy of Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes.
And rebelled against the party, carried broom and followed the APC. And in fact, that was the beginning of the national challenges that faced PDP. Because from that point, PDP lost power, and then we are where we are now. Even at that, when he came back, the party decided to forgive and still hand over his presidential ticket to him in 2019. He lost. Handed it over to him in 2023. He lost. So the party is going to look at an overall picture. Assuming you are saying that some members at the national level sabotage the party, if there is a convincing presentation coming from the National Working Committee to NEC, NEC will look at it vis-a-vis the constitution of the party, vis-a-vis whether their objective is reconciliation or punitive in nature. Remember that if the party has a reconciliation objective, they would rather be looking at, oh, why did they do this? Are they ready to rejoin the fold fully? After all, like I pointed out to you, that Atiku Abubakar was solely, majorly responsible for what happened in 2015. Yet, the party was able to forgive him, gave necessary waivers, and still allowed him to be the flag bearer of the party in 2019. So these things are not issues that mitigate on straight line basis. The same thing applies in Abia State.
Yeah.
Some of those people who did what they did, the party will again be looking at what are our options. Do we want to throw them away, or do we want to fully reconcile them back to the party if they are willing? And it is on that basis that the state caucus will also make whatever decision they will make. It is the same thing at the national level. There is no such thing as hard and fast rule. PDP has constitution number one, but number two, there are other objectives. The objective of making sure that you grow the party as against diminishing the party might prefer. I said might. I am not saying that is what we prefer. Okay. Again, you might also want to make an example of some people. Let me give you an instance. Before Governor Wike took up his ministerial slot with APC, he wrote the PDP to inform them, and the party replied and gave him approval. Are you going to sanction him?
But in that case, that's after the election. But the role he played during the election, that should be tagged as anti-party. What do you think?
Remember that the role he played, he premised it on something. The party might also have to, before you discipline him in the manner that people are hoping for, the party might also look at the basis that the reasons he gave. For instance, If you want to sanction him, you must allow him to defend himself. And if in his defense he says, we agreed as a party that if a candidate emerges from the north, that the chairman who is from the north will step down, and that was not done. What do you do at that point?
Is it written in your constitution?
See, PDP is the only political party that has zoning in its constitution. Zoning of offices, political elective offices, they are in our constitution. We are not like any other party, like I said. We are not a one-man party. Our constitution evolved over the years. From the time of Alex Ekwueme, up to this day, we have one of the most robust constitutions that defines everything we do in PDP.
So that's why I'm asking.
To you,
yeah,
I am confirming
yeah,
to you.
Go ahead.
We are the only party that has zoning of offices, both within the party and when our party is governing a state. We have it in PDP. It's part of PDP. So the problem will become in defending themselves. You cannot charge a man for illegality if you have committed illegality yourself. Some of these things will be looked into. I don't know how the NEC will come out, the final decision they will make, but I am sure that whatever the NEC decides will prevail.
Okay, so tomorrow's NEC meeting, will they also consider the issue of caretaker committee to be set up following the expiration of tenure of present ESCOs in some states? I don't know when the ESCO in Abia State, their tenure will expire, but I mean, your principal, your boss, Governor Okezi Pazo, he said they are meeting at the level of G5 and all that. So would they also, consider the issue of setting up a caretaker committee that will man the activities of the party at the state level, pending when you do a kind of national convention to elect new leaders at the state?
Let me address the issue of G5. Throughout the history of PDP, we have always had like minds coming together. PDP emerged from G34. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
That was like minds, Solomon La, Alex Ekwueme, Limi, and the rest of them meeting in Jos or somewhere there, somewhere outside the southeast, to agree on the need to quickly return the country to democracy. In PDP, there will always be like minds coming together. The G5 is just another group of like minds coming together within the party to pursue their own agenda. It doesn't necessarily make them rebellious. It doesn't necessarily make them non-PDP members. When they are meeting, their meeting will not be directly tangential to what NEC will decide. They are meeting as like minds within PDP. I think Abubakar, I'm sure, is also meeting. He lives not very far from where I live in Abuja.
Okay.
About 3 buildings or 4 away from me. He also is meeting with his own people. And they are also meeting as like minds. There will also be others who will want to meet as like minds. It is allowed in partisan politics. Now, what they will do is whatever they want, they can canvass through the members of NEC to say, this is what we, the members of Atiku group, want you to do. They can do that. They can canvass that.
Yeah.
But whenever we are talking about election of national chairman of PDP, it is only the national convention that can do that. Whoever is going to be appointed by NWC or NEC can only be in acting capacity.
Okay.
Like I said, the highest decision-making body in PDP is the national convention of the party. And that national convention is made up of delegates from the ward up to the local government, up to the states, and delegates at the national level. You asked me about the party in Abia. The National Working Committee has already extended by 3 months the tenure of those ward executives. The ward executives.
Okay, ward executives.
Because the ward executives were elected in March 2020. We could not immediately elect state executives because of COVID.
Okay.
So the National Party directed in 2020 that the election be done later on. And that election, they extended the tenure of late Justice Igbo Demanco till the election was done sometime in August at the state level. Okay. Those elected in August, their tenures have not expired, so there is nothing to extend. Those whose tenures have expired in Nadia, I said they have been extended by 3 months.
And those are the ward executives.
At the national level, the tenure of the national executive will expire sometime around October, if I'm right, because the national convention was done between October and December. I'm not so sure right now. Between October and December.
Okay.
Now, you cannot be placing until the tenure has expired. That is why at the end of the day, you can expect that come what may, in the absence of a national convention, there will only be an acting PDP chairman. That is our constitution. Those who are expecting that NEC will go into election and produce somebody, whether it is Suswan or any other person tomorrow, it is not likely to happen, because it is not the duty of NEC to elect the national chairman of PDP.
Okay, but they can actually convoke for the national convention.
NEC can, yes, authorize the national convention one. NEC can also appoint somebody in acting capacity pending the next convention of the party.
Okay.
And at the moment, Damagun is operating in acting convention. It is foreseeable that NEC might decide to that, look, Damagun, we want you to return back to your position as deputy national chairman. We want to appoint Genek Oluoha to be the acting for now. If members of NEC agree, it becomes legal within our party framework. But that is acting, and that acting will end immediately there is a national convention. It is only the national convention that can elect the chairman of PDP.
A substantive national chairman of the PDP, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, if you're just joining us, is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. My guest is a former commissioner here in Abia State and a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, also here in Abia State, Chief John Okii-Kalu. And we are looking at the National Executive Committee meeting of the PDP that will hold tomorrow in Abuja, and the intrigues that have been playing out, you know, those that are supporting Atiku, those that are supporting Wike, and those that say that Damagun, the acting national chairman of the party, should leave the party, you know, leave the position for another person to step in and serve out the tenure of Ayu, who was sacked by the court. Well, we'll pause now to observe some break. When we come back, we'll now come back to Abia State and focus our attention on Aba North State constituency and what is happening there, why the Abia State House of Assembly has not been able to swear in the lawmaker-elect for Aba North State constituency. All right, so welcome back to the program. It's still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. Earlier on, we looked at the NEC meeting of the PDP that is supposed to hold tomorrow in Abuja. And on this half, we will be looking at the Aba North State constituency, what's happening there. We understand that there's this call that the seat of the Aba North State constituency should be declared vacant. I don't know how true, how possible that can be. All right, we'll find out now. Chief John Okii-Kalu is still on the line, and we'll be looking at this particular issue together. Welcome back, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Now, I saw the statement you put out some time ago, I think a few days ago, on the issue of Aba North State constituency, and Aaron Uzodike, a member of your party, the People's Democratic Party, who up to this moment has now been sworn in by the Speaker of the Abia State House of Assembly. And in that statement, you actually said that some traditional rulers are making moves to support the call for that particular seat to be declared vacant. Tell us more about it.
Thank you very much. What is happening in Abia is the making of a dictatorship, and it is wrong. That document that I published, if you notice, I redacted portions of it and allowed the relevant portion to be seen along with the signatures. As at the time that document was sent to me by one of the traditional rulers who was sufficiently worried that they were being used and coerced and forced to get involved in a political matter.
By who?
Yes, by the person who gave them the document to sign. The document was written, let me explain.
Okay.
The document was written and given to them to sign, asking the governor and the speaker to declare the Aba North seat vacant. Now, what worried me is not the fact that it's an act in futility, because nobody can, INEC will not listen to you when there is somebody elected, duly certified by INEC with a certificate of return, and you've not inaugurated the person. But what worried me was the level of intimidation going on. I wake up in the morning and I hear that traditional rulers have been suspended in Aruchuku, removed in Okwa, removed in Isialangwa, and so on and so forth. And I see a lot of heroic intimidation in Abia State, and I'm not, as a citizen of Abia State, I am worried. Let me be factual on what I know concerning this matter.
Okay.
November 27, 2023, the appeal court ruled in favor of Aaron Ozodike. First week of December 2023, he presented the certificate of return and the TTC of the appeal court judgment to the clerk of the House of Assembly, requesting to be inaugurated as a member representing the good people of Aba North. The Speaker, Right Honorable Emerowa, minuted on that document that was passed to him that Aaron Ozodike be inaugurated on the 18th of December. On the 18th of December, Aaron Ozodike presented himself for inauguration, and he was told that it has been cancelled because of orders from above. Since that time, I have been looking for any order that is above the Speaker. Based on what I have now seen on the response of the governor of Abia State, beyond insulting me, abusing me as an individual, which I don't mind, because it comes with the tough. What I saw in his writing is his attempt to play Messiah and his attempt to play Emperor of Abia State to decide which court order should be obeyed. I saw where he copiously mentioned that Aaron has suffered before now, that in fact the governor went as far as saying that if Aaron dies today, it means that the God of Ngwaland that they are fighting for Destiny Wago. And honestly speaking, it shocked me.
Okay, Chief, I really want you to speak to the issue of the, what led to why up to this moment he has not been sworn in.
The Speaker later claimed that there was a court injunction, and I started asking questions around the court in Abia State. I found out that there was an attempt to obtain a judgment, a Jankara judgment from the court of Honorable Justice C.H. Anochogo of the Okwa Division of Abia State High Court, and it didn't work out. That was why I asked the Speaker to publish the injunction, assuming there was a started injunction arising from that process. That process was started in January, not in December. After December 18th, when the Speaker failed to inaugurate Aaron, there was no court order on him. Now that process started in January. That's why the case number is 01/2024. When they could not litigate that matter further in the court of Justice Anshogu, Justice Anshogu dismissed the case on the 19th of March. Even if there was an ex parte order granted in January, the reality is that ex parte orders have lifetime. they expire in 7 days or 14 days. And secondly, the substantive ruling, the substantive case has now been dismissed since March 19. What is holding Emmanuel Emerowa from performing his constitutional duty? There is no court order stopping Emmanuel Emerowa from inaugurating Osodike. All that is stopping him is the hubris of a man who benefited from the rule of law, but who now wants to discard the rule of law.
Now, Chief, I want us to talk about this issue of traditional rulers. You know, you raised it earlier. Up to this moment, what is the position of those traditional rulers? You said a document was presented to them to sign off on. Have they done that?
Signed. 2 of them signed.
Okay.
And I named the 2 in my publication. The Henacho, and the other is the chairman of the Traditional Rulers Council.
Did they say they were being coerced to do that? Or were they doing that out of their own volition?
The man who sent the document to me, the traditional ruler that I got the document from, clearly told me that why he's sending this thing to me is because they are being asked to do this against their will. That's coercion. That's what is called coercion. When we are assuming the man was not acting against his will, why will he send it to an opposition politician? I'm a PDP member. I've never hidden that fact. The man knew who I was before sending it to me, and I can tell you that because I made that in public, they have stopped circulating it.
You know, Chief, we really know you as somebody who is bold enough to say things the way they are, and we would appreciate if you had said or named the people that are trying to coerce our traditional rulers to do what is not right.
They are agents of Abia State government led by Dr. Alex Oti. In that document, they applauded Right Honorable Emerowa, applauded the Attorney General of Abia State, they applauded Dr. Alex Oti. Who do you think now is responsible for the coercion? I don't need to go more direct than that. I said in the document I shared before members of the public, they thanked the Attorney General of Oti. What is the business of Attorney General with traditional rulers and declaration of seats vacant?
Now, Chief, I'm sure you know that you have so many members of the PDP in Abia State House of Assembly. Why are they not pushing for one of their own to be sworn in? I mean, they are just keeping quiet.
There was something I told you when Abia State, the current Abia State House of Assembly was inaugurated. Maybe you've forgotten. The first time in the history of democracy all over the world, you have a member of a minority party becoming majority leader. Has it ever happened elsewhere? Why didn't the media in Abia State and the leaders of Abia State shout? Do you know that by virtue of that event that happened that time, that every decision of the House can be challenged in court and nullified? That actually democracy does not envisage a situation where 10 will be greater than 11. Now, the members of PDP ask me again, why didn't they fight that state of affairs? The reality is that they tried to fight. Akolonu was suspended for 14 days or more, and none of the others came to his rescue. On the floor of the House, when that travesty was happening, Mandela Obasi, who represents me in Ohafia North, shouted himself hoarse, and nobody listened to him. And they knocked the gavel. Do you want opposition members to continue to wet their breath, knowing that they are being confronted helplessly by an emperor? EMPEROR, emperor. Not a Democrat, not a beneficiary of the rule of law. The thing about the rule of law is that sometimes it is uncomfortable. As a governor, there are some things that you must do because of rule of law that will make you uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know why you accusing the governor. The governor obviously is not a member of the Abia State House of Assembly. You will agree with me. And we've always advocated for separation of powers and independence of all the arms of government. When you say
Number
the governor, is it fair on him that he's the one directing affairs on what is happening in Abia State House of Assembly?
Yes, he's the one, and let me prove it. Number one, the governor was sitting on the House members at the hallowed chambers of the House on the day they were electing their principal officer. It has never happened.
No, is the governor not an Abian? Chief, let us get straight, because I was also there. Every other Abian was also there. I mean, the governor came not as a governor, but as an Abian who came to, see what is happening. So is that not... I mean, if you're saying that he shouldn't be there, are you being fair to him?
The governor is not a common agent like myself. He is the head of the executive branch. He is the man imbued with immunity. If I slap anybody in Abia State, as far as threat, if the governor shoots anybody dead, he will walk away. He didn't go there as an Abian. He went there as the executive governor of Abia State with the executive power. Don't deceive yourself. You are not of the same rank and file before the law with the governor. He is the executive governor of Abia State. That's why we all give him that respect. If you do not know the powers of the governor, I do know that one of them is that he can kill somebody in Ahiohoro, shoot somebody dead, and nothing will happen. That's the law. And for him to sit with his orderlies armed in the hallowed chamber of the State House of Assembly, if you are not intimidated, then you are not a human being.
Now, Chief, so you are invariably saying that the governor controls the affairs of the Abia State House of Assembly. Is that true?
In this matter, yes. And in other matters, I can also prove it. Let me also continue.
So, is it also possible? Hold on, Chief. Let us get something straight. If the governor wields such an enormous power, that means when Governor Kezi Pazo was there, was he actually doing same?
No, because look, it is not every leader that understands that you must not use all the powers you have. In leadership, if you begin to use the powers you have, something is wrong with you, because it means you are unable to persuade, you are unable to explain, you are unable to mobilize people to agree with you. That's when you start using your power. The Bazo will never sit down there while they are electing their members. He will probably sit with them the night before and say, do this thing for me now. So, if you do it like this, it will balance.
So what's the difference?
We call it soft power.
So what's the difference? If he had actually told them a night before to do this thing for me, and somebody coming on the day of the election, maybe he didn't even utter a word. He was just there,
let me now tell you the difference. You asked a good question. The difference is this. You can discuss with them, and when they get to the chamber, they will decide otherwise. It has happened in this country with Saraki. At the national level. At the state level, the House members can get there and decide that, okay, we have heard our governor. He's not here, we are the ones here, and we have independence. This is how we want to go. But when he sits on them, physically, who are you? I recall the anarchy and the chaos when Akpolono was shouting, Mandela Obase was shouting, and they were being overruled sequentially. Nominate, I have nominated, bam, they will knock the gavel. No more nomination. Didn't you see it? You said you were there. Didn't you see what played out there? Do you think that thing would have played out without the intimidating presence of a governor?
Okay.
Do you think that those who are not ranking members of the House of Assembly can intimidate ranking members like that? Let me add again. When the governor replied my statement, he showed his hands that he was the one behind it. Number one, he defended the illegality. He even said that there was a court injunction. But
was it not because you actually called him out? You directly pointed accusing fingers at him. Maybe that's why he needed to defend himself.
In responding to me, a governor that is not involved will simply say, I hereby direct the Speaker of the House of Assembly to do what is constitutionally provided.
I think we should just leave it at that, Chief, so as to allow our callers to call it. Let me sincerely thank you.
I don't know if you understand the fact that when the House revoked the law on pensions. The governor sent people on national TV. The governor took a victory lap. He celebrated. But it was an action of the House of Assembly. I don't know if you are aware that as at today, if Governor Nec calls Emmanuel Emero to say inaugurated on Ozodike, that it will be done immediately.
Well,
I don't know if you are aware that Aaron knows that Emmanuel Emero
I'm not aware of that.
Is a pick. He was personally picked by Governor Nec.
I'm still not aware of that. I know that he was elected by his colleagues. But let me sincerely thank you.
Who were his colleagues that elected him, please?
Chief John Oki Kalu. I think we will have more time to talk about this some other time.
There were 10 members of Labour Party in that house on the day of election.
Yes.
Who were his colleagues that elected him, please? Tell me about it.
All of them were there, and they elected him. They said he was the speaker, and that goes. I mean,
was there a protest by the 11 members of PDP?
Chief John Okika, let me sincerely thank you so much. You are a member of the People's Democratic Party and a former commissioner of Trade and Investment, and also former commissioner for information here in Abia State. I do really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I hope that next time you will allow me to speak.
No, you will.
Yes. I'm ready to interview you. I can also interview you on air so that you will speak your own opinion. But if you have to invite me to spend my time speaking to an issue, it is just proper for you to allow me to speak.
It's because of time. It's because of time. Because of time, that's why we'll see how time.
It's not because of time. It is because everyone that is in the media in Abia State, most of them have been cowed into believing a particular narrative. When you allow a lion to carry you at his back and eat other animals, one day that lion will bring you down and eat you. That is my final message to you.
Thank you so much.
Biased journalists.
Thank you.
God bless Abia State.
Thank you so much, Chief John Okikal, for speaking with us. I really appreciate you. It's time for us to open the phone line so you can be part of this discussion. The numbers to call are 080-8182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. You can also send your SMS or 090-651-08289. It's still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Gereka.
Good morning, welcome.
Mr. Gereka, I sympathize to your complainant. The complainant is very angry, and I like it. That is why when you have opportunity in life, try to go to the
I think we are talking about, first of all, we talked about the issue of NEC of the PDP meeting that will be coming out tomorrow. And secondly, while up to this moment, the lawmaker-elect for Aba North has not been sworn in. I want you to speak to that.
Mr. Gereka, PDP, I'm not a member of PDP, and I don't pray to G. All I know is that it's their business. Let them do their business. I am talking about the business of Abia State. Nobody should link Governor Alex Ochi to House of Assembly. House of Assembly is a body on their own, and they have speaker, they have deputy speaker and majority leader. They have every right to manage their whatever their problem. So nobody should link Governor Alex Ochi. But I am talking for the on issue of opposition, saying whatever they think they like. Okay. I like it as they are now complainants. Let them continue to complain, but no amount of criticism or no amount of politeness by PDP will put Alessoti down. Alessoti have come to stay,
okay.
And they are not happy because Alessoti have opened the eyes of Adrian. That is why they are complaining. Let them continue to complain.
Okay, thank you so much, Ijoke, for your contribution there. Hello, good morning.
Another way, there's no amount of complaint that will make Alessoti to do the right thing. What's your name? What's your name? Are you under a spell that somebody is calling the governor to do the right thing? They say, now I want to complain. We are complaining that your seat has been handed over to an emperor who is not doing the right thing. But Alessoti is a Buhari of Abia. He don't obey court order. He don't do the right thing. You see. Those who live by propaganda will die by propaganda.
Prof,
you pay almost and you say you have to
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just calm down. I know you're angry, but it's good Well, you just be careful the choice of word you use on air. Calling people names. I don't think that's the right
I
thing.
didn't call anybody name.
What we are saying is, hold on, Prof. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, sir.
Okay, so we talked about two things here: the NEC
Yes,
meeting of the
that's what I want to
PDP,
talk about now.
and we
That's
talked
the
about the other not.
this thing.
So which one are you reacting to?
That the INEC chairman was still in the house of Tinubu. Later, Tinubu was declared winner. This is the same thing that happened in Abia. If there is no encroachment of the governor in what happened in the state house of Assembly, how come the state house of Assembly is not doing the right thing? And somebody saying complainer.
Okay.
We are not under a spell, though.
Okay.
If all of you are under a spell, I'm not under a spell. I'm Akada. I'm Kufokadi Akada. I'm not corrupt.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Akada, for your contribution there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Guinea.
Welcome.
Who say man know the name I'm calling from Mumbai?
Okay.
I keep saying that any foundation that is led on lies, deceit, and propaganda will not stand the test of time. And secondly, when we lose our fear, we gain our freedom. Thank God for the person you call to interview. He's a fine gentleman, and secondly, he's an IBN. I listened to what he talked about the convention that is coming tomorrow. Sorry, the meeting that is coming tomorrow, national end of this mission of PDP.
Yes.
That is coming together tomorrow. They should put their house in order by the grace of God with all his analysis and his explanation. When we get to that place, the PDP will put their heads in order and make sure that they bring out somebody that will challenge, stand as an opposition to challenge the injustice that is happening in Nigeria. Then secondly, the case of Aaron Ozodike is very, very unfortunate. I've told everybody that I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party in Nigeria today. But what is happening to Aaron Ozodike is very, very disheartening. And some people are justifying it today. We have forgotten that no emperor or no king reigns forever. Highest you stay 4 years or 8 years, posterity will still remember you. And those of them that are insulting people, trying to build enmity because of you saw power. Many of them will never be, because I've been opportune to stay with Alessandro 2-3 times before he became the governor when he was campaigning. We shook hands, he told us what he wants to do for others. So if peradventure that you want to get up, those things you have told others, transparency, injustice with the council, that was what made them to bring you into power as the governor of the state. But you are supposed to be following this bad trend you told us when you were campaigning. I don't know what it is not supposed to be. But when they start with their lives, you see a lot of people that doesn't know anything about politics, about the power, even about the person that is the governor. They will come on air to insult somebody because of you thought that the Labour Party belongs to you. Maybe Governor is your elder brother or father. It's very, very unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hussein Manode. Now to our SMS line. This one is coming from Prince Weluswagwe Umunachubu. He said, I quite believe PDP next meeting tomorrow will either make or mar PDP. I would have advised the NEC to take a drastic move in sanctioning some erring members like Wike to order to serve as a deterrent to others. As regards the dilly-dally moves in disobeying Abba North member to Abia State House of Assembly is an aberration and unacceptable. Traditional rulers should remain apolitical. Thank you so much, Prince Will. This one is also coming from okay. Somebody is actually saying, Sir John Oki Kalu, you're blessed always. Speak out the truth. Abians are solidly behind you. The truth remains PDP is the majority in the 8th Abia State House of Assembly, and in Abia, come rain, come sun. Uzosike Ayon will be sworn in. Thank you so much. On our Facebook page, Ike Carl said, you people know the hear word fluff. You people should stop inviting. Okay, why? It's an Abian. We must invite everybody. This is a very unbiased platform. Everybody has a stake here. Okay. Now, Ezekiel Elvis said, good morning, the chief correspondent. I believe anti-party activities, rejection from well-meaning Abians, betrayal, nepotism, tribalism, disunity have dealt a huge one to Abia PDP. If they fail to bounce back and give the incumbent governor a good run for their money before 2027 election, it will be difficult for them in future elections. Finally, the Speaker of the Abia State House of Assembly should obey the court order and swear in the elected PDP lawmaker representing Aba North for equity, fairness, justice, and peace to prevail. Thank you so much, Ezekiel Elvis. I think it's time for us to leave the studio now. Sincere thanks to all of you who called in and who dropped your messages and your comments on our Facebook page. Thank you so much. May God bless you. My name is Ginika Olwa. Stanko and Charles behind the camera. I appreciate you. And keep praying for Abia State and Nigeria to become great. But don't forget that Flow FM is not biased. We'll give the platform for everybody to air their views. I'll see you again.